gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled. Dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all mankind.
So guys, moving on.
Oh, we got a big one for you right now, everybody. There's a big thing that came into print. Do you want to start it or want me to start it?
I'll let you start it.
So DC was a Suicide Squad issue 22. They listed Batman as a metahuman. And then they got crushed by Scott Snyder, and he said, no, Batman is not a metahuman. But the fans love it. So he had to come out another day and say, Batman is not a metahuman. So Scott Snyder's power and what the fans want to kind of, he's got to use his power. This metal's got to get him.
It's his own fault. It's his own fault. He did it.
How did he do that? What are you talking about?
There was a storyline, okay, this is Batman Endgame. And in order for Batman to survive Endgame, he had to be resurrected. He got resurrected using, I don't know if it was nth metal or something else, but it was pretty much one of these type of metals that he's going through. So they're saying that that's still in his system, and because that's in his systems, he was resurrected, now he's a metahuman. You wrote the damn story. If you didn't go off the deep end with all this nonsense about Batman, you know, uppercutting horses and all this other sort of thing, these guys wouldn't be so ape-scat for it. That Batman fan base, okay? I know I'll give you a hard time, you give me a hard time. But that Batman fan base out there on the internet, those guys over there, literally, okay, they think Batman can walk on water, eat bullets, and scat ice cream at the end of the day.
That's pretty good.
They are
the sales show it.
They are incorrigible. Okay? They are incorrigible. Okay, they are intractable when it comes to it. All they want to see is Batman aggrandized to the point that he's sitting on the right hand of God, you know, waiting for the second coming.
Well,
and you gave it to them on a silver platter when you did this. And it was very simple in 22, Suicide Squad 22. All she had to do was put a question mark saying, look, we're not sure. Because historically, Batman is supposed to operate like, hey, like he's a creature of the night.
Yes.
So that the criminals are a cowardly and superstitious lot. That's who this is supposed to work on. But then they had him doing all this other stuff. You know, look, when you got a bat cave on the moon, which you damn well don't need.
That doesn't give him powers.
No, it doesn't give him powers. But you're putting him in too many situations where he should not well be. When he's going to Apocalypse to go fight Darkseid. When you got him uppercutting horses. Okay?
I wasn't doing no horses being uppercut.
When the Joker, you know, okay, when Gotham City becomes the center of the DC
real
universe.
Horses were harmed in the creating of that combo. Okay,
you don't know that. You don't know that.
Give me a break.
I would just only add is that many comic characters that don't have powers get resurrected. You know, like
all the
Captain
time.
America.
Every dynasty,
they're resurrected into
any soap
metahumans.
opera, they've all been resurrected.
This is his second. Well, this isn't his second resurrection. The first one, he was just traveling through time, but he laid it there.
Joker and Batman were resurrected. So sorry.
Yeah. So look, but he laid it there, and then somebody decided, hey, this is good. Let me keep running with it. And Batman's fan base is not so much. I mean, I would say maybe 30% are about, look, we really love this character. The other, these guys are bandwagoners who just jumped on because he's the most popular. And he's a great guy to have in a versus battle argument. He can do anything because he always has a plan and this, that, and now you add a metahuman to him? Forget about it.
All right, so I think we kind of jumped on top of this a little too fast. I think that you can also read that when Amanda Waller makes a list of metahumans, right? And Batman...
You're saying Amanda Waller's intel would be wrong? Is that what you're saying?
Hold on, saying...
Is it because she's black?
Batman the Great himself, you know, because he is such a perfect specimen of a human. You know, that she may say, well, you know what?
Now he's a perfect specimen of a metahuman.
No regular human could do this. And so, you know what? Let's put him in the...
so is Nightwing a metahuman too?
Well,
or any of these other guys?
They're not, but what I'm saying...
Or any of these other guys who are also peak specimen?
But that's what I'm trying to say. Why she's looking... These guys are peak specimen, and therefore, we put them in that pot. That doesn't necessarily mean they are meta-humans. You know what I'm trying to say? Did they do a test on him? No, they didn't do it. But they're saying because he's able to do all these different things, that's what I think we should do. And that's what, Scott, that's what I'm with you with that. I can rock with that storyline. I can close my eyes to everything else. I can go like this to the smell. That's what I can go. But as a metahuman, no frigging way. He's not a frigging mutant.
You can't go both sides.
What do you mean both sides?
You just got a no prize from Stan Lee for explaining what happened, and then you threw it away and said he's not a metahuman. Don't explain why it worked, because that's what you said. You said they probably made a mistake, they didn't test him yet, and then you said, no, it's bad, it's terrible, get it out of here. Figure aside, Mario. I need you to figure aside.
All right, decide they made a mistake. Is that good?
No. The best analogy I'm going to have for the Batman fans right now is like you have Congress, you have the judges, and you've got the White House, and you can't get a damn thing done. That's exactly what you got right over here now. Because with Batman being a metahuman, it's a non-starter. It's a non-starter. It's only good for argumentation. It's terrible for story. Because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be a guy who is trained, who has challenged himself and pushed himself to the pinnacle of human perfection, and all of that could be stopped with a single bullet. So he has to be thinking. He has to be moving. But the Batman I grew up with,
And planning.
the Batman I grew up with would have never been dressed in armor because he would have never been caught flat-footed. He was always moving or sneaking up on somebody from behind, dropping out of nowhere, using the shadows. The Batman I grew up with was someone who could look with his human eyes and see what was going on because he had trained himself so well. Today's Batman walks around in armor, has all of this funky digital stuff going on in his cowl. It's so separate from what I grew up with. So they have emphasized more of the tech and the money and the supra, if not super elements that could be added to his character, rather than the self-made man who used everything at his disposal to make himself what he is. You get away from that. Okay, and you got away from it. You got away from it when you put the bloody metal into him. You left it for somebody else to pick up. And at the end of the day, Scott Snyder, you'll learn what a whole bunch of other guys have learned. He's not your character. So if you leave something out there for somebody else to get up and start running away with, you can't say, oh, no, he's not a metahuman, because obviously somebody disagrees with you. And you did it. You set it up.
But he's the top
Petey.
writer. Well, sorry.
No, Petey, what are you going to say about that?
I'm saying that I just love the fact that he's the top guy. And then the fans are like, no, we like this metahuman thing. And he's like, no, listen to me. You know, you follow me down the path of, and I don't remember what was
Like,
that.
shut up, Dad.
That's basically what it is. But it's like, the thing that they want is more than what he's saying. And they're like, this metal, look at him. He's in metal. He's got to have powers.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean.
Hawkman has metal. He's got powers.
Well, the way you described it, it was sounding like Batman using the shadows. It sounded like he was a metahuman. It sounded a little meta.
He can create his own shadows now.
So, did you have a question for me?
I'm just stunned. I just don't understand. So, anything else you guys want to bring up about DC?
I think we covered everything so far on DC. And
Krypton on Sci-Fi will suck.
But we will review it. So don't worry about that.
I won't be here.
We'll do a review just for you guys.
Yes, they will do a review.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining Spinner Rack once again. Hey, support your comic books. Go out, read them as much as you can. Spinner Rack out.